Your graduate assistantship going? Do you have another year, or is this it for you?
This is year 3, so I think the NCAA allows 3 full years of being a graduate assistant, and this is year 3 for me, so this is kind of do or die time.
So how optimistic are you that you can land here or Central Florida or somewhere?
I don't know. I think I've been asked that question already. They ask me if I'm auditioning, and the way I look at it, as a GA, you're really auditioning for a job every single day that you're here. Whether that's a job here or somewhere else, you've got to really impress those full-time coaches, because they're either going to hire you or they're going to be the guys who are making phone calls to get you hired somewhere else. So I'm just coming to work every day trying to do my best job.
What's it mean to you, I guess, working with these quarterbacks through the Alamo Bowl now?
It's great. It's an awesome opportunity for me. I haven't got to spend a ton of time with the quarterbacks since I've been here. I've been more focused with the receivers and the scout teams and stuff. But it's a natural position for me to coach. You know, I coach some younger quarterbacks in the off-season, so working on footwork mechanics, throwing mechanics, all that stuff is very natural to me, and I already have kind of a base on it. So it's been great to be able to spread some of my knowledge to the other guys.
What are some of the things that you maybe learned from Frost that you're trying to impart on the quarterbacks right now?
Just a focus on mechanics. I think a lot of times during the long season you get so focused in on the general scheme of running an offense that you don't really focus on the mechanics maybe as much as you should. But Frost has been really good about focusing in on mechanics each week, even if it's a 5-minute period here or there. He gets that kind of worked in, and I've learned that from him, and I'm going to continue to use that.
Is there a way that you can try to impart your personal kind of stamp on these quarterbacks as well?
I think every quarterback coach has their own philosophy on which is the best way to use this footwork or which is the best way to make this throw. And my philosophy is varied slightly from what Coach Frost believes, and I'm trying to make some slight changes here and there just to put my personal spin on it.
What are some of those slight changes you're trying to make?
It's top secret. Can't share that with you. Sorry.
Speaking of mechanics, how is Vernon able to put so much strength or zip on the ball for a small guy?
I think he's gifted with a strong arm, which is number one. But throwing a football comes not just from an arm strength standpoint, but it's a full body experience. So he's able to use mechanics from his lower body down to put some hip rotation and create that force which is generated into the football. He's not the biggest guy, but he has such a live arm, and half of that comes from his arm, but I think the other half probably comes from his lower body mechanics.
How has Morgan developed this year?
Good. I wouldn't say great. We spent a lot of time on the scout team, and when you're in that role, it's really tough to develop. You have to put extra time in on your own, which he's done some of. I wouldn't say his development has gone great, but I also couldn't say that I could measure it because I haven't seen him a lot. We see him in the scrimmages on Fridays, and that's about the only opportunity we get. He gets maybe 12, 13 plays, and that's about all. I think the fact that Travis Johnson's been out with an injury has helped his development because he's gotten more reps that he normally would have been splitting with Travis. But I'm excited to see, continuing during the bowl practice and then into spring ball, how he continues to develop.
Will you be here? A lost art where guys come to a program and sit for a few years and develop, as opposed to all these recruits who want to play or transfer.
I think everyone wants instant gratification. I think when you come to a place like Oregon, we're lucky because we get to recruit the right guys that are hungry and eager to get out there and play. They know that's not always going to happen because we've got great depth here. But I can't fault those kids for having that attitude. Sometimes you'd like them to stick it out and stay a little longer than they have been, and luckily we haven't had that issue here too much. It's just the nature of the beast nowadays.
You talked about developing in the spring. Will that mean you'll be here too, or?
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. That's not up to me.
But are you allowed to?
My graduate assistantship, I guess you would call it, ends at the end of this season. Okay. I think I'll have the winter term to kind of figure things out and see what's going to happen job-wise, and hopefully it'll be a fruitful job search.
John Neal was saying that Morgan Mahalik is kind of acting like Trevon Boykin on the scout team. How can he continue to, as you mentioned, develop in that kind of role for the end of the season?
I think his biggest thing is presence and just kind of commanding the huddle or the no huddle, if you want to call it that. He's great, got a great strong arm, he's athletic, he can run, he can do all the stuff physically that you want from him. He has some things he needs to work on from just command, presence, and a leadership standpoint. And if you think about it, he's a young kid. What is he, a redshirt freshman? So he hasn't been in this program a long, long time. The more time he gets here, the more time he's able to be around the guys and develop that leadership role, the better off he's going to be.
Devin Allen was saying that Coach Lubick is kind of a mastermind. How would you describe his offensive IQ?
That's a great way to put it. And I think Lubick's biggest advantage is he coached defensive backs for so long. He understands how to break their rules, how to put them in situations that even if they call the perfect coverage, there's still something that's going to be open for the quarterbacks. And his ability on a whiteboard or a chalkboard to scheme people up is second to none from what I've seen. And I'm not sure if he's going to be our coordinator going into the future, but I know he's got all the right tools to get that job done.
Braylon said he was quasi interested in coming back next year to try and play quarterback. What's he look like as a quarterback?
Very talented. You'd be surprised how skilled he is, and his biggest thing is he has such a great feel for the game. He just kind of feels things out. We've put him in the quarterback position before just to kind of experiment, and we didn't even really tell him what the reads were. We just kind of let him do his own thing, and he just made plays. And if you watch his high school film, you can see why. I mean, he's got some skills and some assets that can do some things with the football in his hands. Is he going to be the guy who's going to throw the ball 30 times a game? Maybe not. But he is a playmaker, and if we had to put him in that situation, we'd be very comfortable with him.
So you think that would be at least an acceptable option?
Of course.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.